I let my eyes scan the Friday night crowd in the upscale restaurant my friend Mila insisted we visit. As expected, she was not on time, and I'd be waiting again. I took a deep breath and remembered there was no use in being annoyed because she could always talk me into forgiving her anyway. The enticing aroma of the eatery's exotic cuisine tickled my nose. For Mila, treating herself and sometimes me to lush meals at upscale restaurants was her way of living close to what she dreamed of possessing, a place in New York's upper echelon of society. If only she knew that I'd grown up privy to all that she coveted, it would no doubt change the easy friendship we shared. Either that, or I'd drown in the pity she'd feel knowing that I'd lost all claim to that privileged world. At 26 years of age, I was a struggling, poverty line working girl with no privileges and few options. My once wealthy father now resided behind prison walls in upstate New York. And my socialite mother, well, she barely existed in a state-funded nursing home. My life consisted of procuring food, clothing, and shelter with the money I had left after paying my mother's monthly fees. Even though the fees weren't high, my wage as a cleaner in the housekeeping department of Z Corps wasn't overly high either. But for a girl who'd spent her first 22 years spoiled by rich and indulgent parents, and who'd never studied or trained for anything close to a practical career or vocation, well, any job was better than no job. I made my way to the handful of chairs in the lobby, intent on being comfortable while I waited. I was staring at the message screen on my phone in hopes of an update from Mila when a pair of expensive-looking male shoes appeared close to my thrift store pumps. I looked up and immediately shivered in the chill of glacier blue eyes focused squarely on mine. My heart paused at rhythmic pace and then beat furiously against my chest. Why me? Why am I the unluckiest woman alive? Tad Connor, the man most likely to murder me, pinned me in place with his inscrutable expression. Memory flashes streaked across my mind like Roman candles. Memories of our senior year in high school. He was the classic poor bad boy, and I was the rich campus princess. The embarrassment I felt when he confessed his feelings for me and continued to pursue me despite my spiteful rejections, well, now I could feel the moisture form on my neck as he continued his silent perusal of my face. I couldn't help but remember the last words I spoke to him on the night of the senior prom when he approached me for a dance. When you have more money than I do, plus a yacht and a private island, I'll not only give you a dance, I promise to marry you. I walked away on the arm of the richest boy in school, laughing scornfully for all to hear. Mr. Connor, your table is ready. The beautiful hostess smiled respectfully toward the man in front of me. He gave her a brief nod while never taking his eyes off me. Then his next words confounded me completely. I'll see you Monday morning at 10 o'clock. I stared at his back as he casually turned and followed the hostess. Thankfully, Mila chose that moment to make her entrance. and the rest of the evening I spent listening to the animated account of her latest shopping spree. Monday morning's cleaning schedule was tighter than usual, and I was already exhausted when I sat down at 9:45 for my morning break. I joined 3 other co-workers and took my first sip of coffee at the same time as a voice at the door said, "Is there a Shandy Morton here?" I choked on my coffee but managed to lift my hand for identity. "Please follow me, Miss Morton. You're wanted on the top floor at 10 o'clock." All I could do was nod and fall in line, trying to match her purposeful stride. Everyone knew that the top floor held the private office and penthouse apartment of the owner of Z-Corp, Nathaniel Connor. What more bad luck can be headed my way? The woman escorted me to a private elevator. Her parting words did nothing to alleviate my growing tension. "This will take you to the top floor where you are expected." When the elevator stopped and its doors retracted, the man I least wanted to see stood in front of me. He stepped inside the elevator and pushed the button to the parking garage, then turned and handed me a large envelope and business card. Speechless, I looked at the card. T. Nathaniel Connor, owner, Z-Corp. I was stunned. Tad Connor from high school was the owner of Z-Corp? My boss? I didn't even know that. How could I be so clueless? He remained silent until I lifted my eyes to his. The envelope contains the deeds to my yacht, my private island, and to having more money than you. Well, he glanced at my uniform and housekeeping badge pinned neatly over the shirt pocket. When we reached the parking garage, I finally regained my voice. Where are you taking me? I believe you're holding proof that I've met your requirements, and now I'm taking possession of what you promised." What promise? What are you talking about?" He smirked. "Don't think for a moment, Shandy, that I believe you don't remember." He was right, of course. I did remember my hateful last words. "When you have more money than I do, plus a yacht and a private island, I'll not only give you a dance, I'll promise to marry you." In my pocket is a special license, which we'll use as soon as we reach Judge Lockhart's office. In less than an hour, you'll be my wife. But, I stammered. "No buts, Shandy. I'm not the boy you easily brushed off 8 years ago. I'm a man that can and will collect on the promise you made." He was right. There was nothing boyish about his manner or the determination in his voice. Then the biggest shock yet made my mind reel. I felt safe. Really. I feel safe for the first time in 5 years. I glanced to the side and caught a glow that warmed his blue eyes before he had time to shutter it. That warmth opened the door to a future never imagined. And suddenly, with all my heart, I wanted to know the heart of this man who had loved me with such passion and constancy. No, he hadn't said those words yet, but he couldn't completely hide the message his eyes had spoken. And my heart answered, I think I found my home.